Hi girls, welcome to my channel. I'm Camilla and I have had a pretty impressive glow up. I'm going to put some pictures of the old Camilla on the screen. I share these pictures with so much love for this girl. I am a very similar version of myself inside to who I was back then. I've just made a lot of improvements to the inside as well as the outside. I don't share these pictures to shame myself. I share them to motivate you guys and show you that anything is possible. And also as a reminder that anyone can fall off and equally anyone can bring themselves back from a very dark time. If you are new here, you won't know that I lost 147 pounds in a year. I did that using Monjaro, but also using a lot of self-control. It's definitely easy to assume that my whole glow up is based on my weight loss, but there are two sides to this glow up. 50% of that is my weight loss and 50% of that is what I'm going to talk about today. This video is not going to include any weight loss tips or any information really on my weight loss because this is not about my weight loss. This is about the other side of my glow up. But if you would rather watch a video on glowing up and just have that weight loss related, there is one that I've posted before this video. So feel free to go ahead and watch that one before you watch this one, but this one is just as important. Okay, let's get into the video. My number one tip for a glow up journey is journaling. This is my current journal and I have done so much of the hard work in my journals. I've gone through about 7 along my journey. I started my journey in April 2024 and this is the current journal. This one is from Flying Tiger. It's absolutely beautiful and it's got a cute little balloon blow up doggy, sausage dog on it. I love this journal, but it holds so much more than just like pretty sequins and pretty colours. This journal that I'm currently halfway through, I would say I'm 3/4 of the way through this journal, holds all of my deepest, darkest thoughts and secrets and desires. It holds letters to my future self. It holds letters to my past self. It holds a lot of manifestation work and it's like a magic book. When I really committed to journaling, my life changed. I manifested so many incredible things for me and my family. And I really became one of the best versions of myself I have ever seen. One of the best things that you can do in your journal is write letters to your future self, or you need to write a diary entry as if you're writing in a year's time. So today is like the 22nd of February. So you need to write the 22nd of February 2027. And it needs to be as if you're writing, waking up that day and you're living out your dreams. So you can write something like, I woke up this morning in my dream home. I checked my bank balance and I feel so safe and secure seeing the number that's in my bank. I'm feeling healthier than ever. I can finally run X amount of miles in X amount of time if running is one of your goals. I got in my dream car and drove to my dream job. My children are really healthy. They're excelling. They're thriving. They're so happy. And then just continue from there. So write your dreams as if you were currently living them. It's such a powerful manifestation tool and I highly recommend it if you are starting a glow up journey. And also it's a nice little dopamine hit, getting yourself a lovely journal and opening it up every day. Okay, that was tip number 1. Tip number 2 is along a very similar line. It all comes down to your mind. I used to talk about myself in the most disgusting, awful, abusive way. There really is no other way to describe it. The way that I would think about myself, the way that I would talk about myself, the way that I would joke about myself. I think it was all done in like a self-preservation way, but it wasn't self-preserving, it was self-destroying. I don't even want to give examples because I feel like any kind of language like this is so damaging. But I'm going to give examples because this might relate to you. This might sound familiar to you. You might do this and sometimes we don't realize how much we're doing it until someone points it out. Sorry, my leg's going dead. I would have this constant inner voice telling me not to bother putting makeup on that day, not to bother brushing my teeth because what's the point? You look awful anyway. Not to bother buying new makeup or buying new clothes or booking a nice dinner out with my husband because you're still going to be fat at the end of the day. It would be a similar theme to that, just constantly. Whenever I would go to do something for myself, like buy new makeup or buy new perfume or exercise or just do anything, I would just think, what's the point? You're still going to be fat. You're still going to be hideous. You're still going to be this, you're still going to be whatever. Well, that's really, really horrible to relive those thoughts and those words. I feel like it's important to share the thoughts that I was having so I can then share what I did to get rid of them. This is going to sound so trivial, but I think this all started with getting my nails done. In April 2024, I decided I was going to change my life. I woke up one day and I was like, whoa, I've got the key to become the best version of myself possible, and I could actually do it if I just did it. I used to look at girls that always had their hair done, always had their nails done, always had their makeup done, always were wearing like nice fashionable outfits, and I used to think, how are you doing that? And then I realized, oh, they're just doing it. They're just booking that nail appointment. They're just spending that money on their nails. They're just prioritizing themselves. They're just standing in front of the mirror for a couple of hours choosing the perfect outfit. They're just doing the thing. And I wasn't doing the thing. So I started to decide to just do the thing. And that all started really with my nails. I booked an appointment with a lovely girl called Abby, who is beautiful inside and out, and she was the girl that got me into Biab. My nails are all completely my nails. This is the true length of my nails. My nails used to be so unloved. They would have like dirt under them sometimes. They'd be bitten in like weird places. They were really not cared for. And I'm not talking about myself as if this was years ago. This was like 2 years ago. They were just very unloved. I wasn't prioritizing things like my nails. So in April 2024, I booked my first nail appointment, and I can proudly say I have had Biab on my nails ever since that day. It's like something clicked in my brain and just told me, oh, Camilla, you just have to do it. Like, if you want pretty nails every day of your life, you have to go and get your nails done, and you have to prioritize that money and that time that, yes, could be spent elsewhere, but you deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve to spend that money and that time on having pretty nails because it makes you feel good. And this must sound to some people so trivial, and if that is the case, then so be it. But for me, it was a massive part of my like glow up journey. So yes, for some people, having pretty nails is not important. Being intelligent or being, you know, a great piano player or being a great whatever is really important to them. To me, having pretty nails is really important. Sue me. Like, it really makes a difference to my life and I love it. And the nails, like the Biab nail journey started this snowball effect. So I started taking care of my nails. Then I started to do like regular fake tans. Then I started to get Botox. Then I sorted out my lip filler that I had kind of like abused over the years. It just kind of took this snowball effect. And then I said I wasn't going to mention weight loss, but hand in hand with the weight loss, I started to feel better there. So that was also a snowball effect. And then I was journaling and that was a snowball effect this way. And then we had all of these snowballs that were gradually building and building and building. And then all of a sudden, I reached the point where I was at my happiest point ever. And it's because I just did these little things. Another thing was taking care of my dental hygiene. I did not care about myself. I was not taking care of myself. I wasn't loving myself and treating myself the way that I should have been. So I would think, why would I bother brushing my teeth? I don't care about myself, and I didn't take care of my teeth. And I've suffered the consequence of that, but my teeth are now in a really, really good position. They're beautifully clean. They are so well taken care of, and I'm so happy. Yeah, a bit of like exposure therapy. I was not taking care of myself. All of these little things sound small, like when I pull a journal out, people might laugh at me. Building yourself up after being in a really dark place takes a lot of like micro habits. I took care of my brain, I took care of my body, I took care of my thoughts. I don't know if I really covered the thoughts part of it. I feel like I went off on a tangent, but just to loop back round to the negative self-thoughts, I changed the way that I was thinking about myself, and I absolutely refused to let myself talk about myself in a negative way, whether that was out loud to other people or in my mind, which actually most of the time before it was in my mind that I was talking so badly about myself. So I started to say things like, no, Camilla, you deserve to do that thing. You deserve to go on that trip. You deserve to spend that money on yourself. The way that I talked about myself, because I completely halted any negative self-talk, and if I felt like talking about myself negatively, I'd flip it and talk about myself positively. That also had a beautiful snowball effect, to the point that now I talk about myself so highly and think of myself so highly, I feel like it shines through into every other aspect of my life. My children have never heard me me say horrible things about myself looking in the mirror. My children have never heard me cry when I get on the scales and say I hate my weight or I hate my body. My children have seen me stand in front of a mirror and hug my stomach and thank my body for all the amazing, wonderful things it's done for me. That then equally has a beautiful snowball effect, because not only is that snowballing positivity for me, it's snowballing positivity for the next generation of girls. Oh my gosh, what a blessing, what an achievement. The work starts with me, but the benefit doesn't end with me. The benefit will be clear as day for years and years to come, maybe even generations to come, because if my children then treat themselves as lovingly and talk about themselves as lovingly as I did, that will then impact their future children and their future children. And before you know it, you've healed so much generational trauma. And through healing myself and loving myself and talking about myself in a beautiful way, I'm blessing future girls. What a blessing. Anyway, there are so many benefits to loving yourself. I love life. I'm so much happier. I'm so much more content. I feel so beautiful, and that's a big deal for women in this day and age. I really hope this video helps at least one person. If you've taken one thing away from this, please get yourself, I was going to whip myself in the face with the dog. Please get yourself a journal and start manifesting your life. Talk about yourself lovingly, with passion and beauty. Think about yourself positively. Invest in yourself. Do things that make you feel beautiful, whether that's going for a run, whether that's learning a new skill, or whether that's getting biab on your nails. You could glow up at any point. You have so much power in your mind. You just need to tap into it. Be a little bit delusional. Be extremely loving and careful with your heart and with your thoughts. You could move mountains and have an impact on generations of girls ahead of us. Anyway, I'm going to leave that with you. I love you guys. Have a great day.